Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a message that I received, and the message reads like this: 7 nights of riches. That is my confession, oh dear brother. 7 nights of riches. That is my confession. I am an ex-drug lord, and I traded my crime life that was full of crime for occultism. And I just want to ask other people out there, does it make me to be better, to be a better citizen now that I employ a lot of people here in the country where I am based? I am clean physically. The businesses that I have, they are very clean, no crime happening there. But spiritually, it is blood money. Whenever I have like physical money, not the money that will be in my bank account, I can put the money on a table or somewhere. Then the money, it will start to cry blood. So this is the blood of my sister, the one who died. So I had twin sisters. The one, she passed away. She was the physical sacrifice that was supposed to happen during the days when I was doing this occultism rituals back in my country when I had returned back there. So I ended up spending 7 days sleeping with a corpse in a village at a shrine. This shrine, it belongs to one man who assisted me, a man that I had been directed to by this other friend of mine after I had knelt down and cried in front of him, telling him that I did not want to live this life of selling drugs. For all the people that I knew, they were getting picked up by the police and things were not changing. They were no longer the same, and I had no other option but to keep on working. He then told me about the man from his village who ended up assisting me, and I had to sacrifice one amongst my twin sisters. The one that I chose, she passed away, and whenever I count physical money, in which I avoid at all the times, I do not like counting physical money because of the blood that the money will be crying. The blood will be everywhere. But if it is in the bank, I do not see the blood. So one of my sister, the one that is remaining, she is a mad woman who runs mad in Lagos. Her suffering is what gives me the money. That is why I want to ask, am I a bad person? What was I supposed to do? To continue selling drugs, or is this better? Because of me, there are families that at least know that they will have food at the end of the day, men and women that will have salaries because they work for me. But still, I never thought that a day like this will ever come where I'll end up confessing to you, my man, even though you are a stranger. Here I am. My heart is filled with so much regret, and I do not know where else to turn to. I feel like I want to knock on heaven's doors so that Jesus Christ can just take my soul and not let me to burn in hell for the things that I did. I feel as if I have no option at all. I never had any option in life. So I was drawn into the occult because of desperation, because I was afraid of getting arrested. And I traded the life of a drug lord for the life of being an occultic man. And everyone now sees me as a legitimate businessman. I have helped many schools back in my country. I am someone that is known in the village who assist a lot of young men that want to go abroad, and then there will be money that will be needed. They know that I am the one who assist people like that in our village, but I am doing this in order to clean my conscience, because I do not have a clear conscience at all. It is as if the Spirit of God is always there accusing me. Is it the Spirit of the Lord, or is it the spirit of the devil himself who is accusing me each and every night? So when I decided to do these things, I went to Nigeria, and when I went to Nigeria, straight to the village where one Babalao assisted me. He was a priest who told me that he has dealt directly with the devil's agents. He told me that he was taken deep into the Indian Ocean, where he was made to swear an oath to the devil that he was going to acquire as many souls as he could. He then told me that me being at his shrine, I was supposed to know that I was there and he was going to harvest my soul for the devil. The devil has so much riches. He said that there is so much wealth in the sea, so much that if the devil wanted, he could provide all of that wealth to everyone in this world, and there is no one who will go to bed hungry. But the devil himself does not want that. The devil will only make a deal with you if he knows that he is going to benefit more than the way that you are going to benefit. And I agreed, because I had no choice at all. Returning back to South Africa, I knew that in order to maintain the type of a lifestyle that I had, since I was married to a South African woman who is a working professional, there was no way that she was going to accept my situation where I did not have any money. Just imagine that an independent woman that you met staying in a classy neighborhood, and then you tell her that your conscience is killing you, you do not want to be involved in illegal dealings anymore. She will tell you to just walk out of her house, for she can afford to continue living her life. Even with the child that you gave her, she will forget about you. That I learned a long time ago when I got married to my independent wife. So I knew that in order for me to have my child grow up having both of his parents together, all that I had to do was to sacrifice myself, to sacrifice my family, and to sacrifice even my own soul to the devil. I obeyed as that man told me what was needed. He told me that in the village there was a woman that was going to die, and this man made a woman who was sick in that village to die for the sake of me sleeping with a dead woman. Yes, I slept with a dead corpse for 7 good days. The devil has so much power. This woman, she was taken from her own relatives, and they were left with a spiritual shadow. They thought that they still had her corpse, and they took the corpse to the mortuary. For 7 days, they fought with the mortuary, trying to get her corpse out of the mortuary, but it was being said that the papers to release the body were not being seen, and here and there the body was being misplaced. So whilst they were busy fighting for their corpse, as for me, I was busy sleeping with the woman that had died in that village. I was at the priest's shrine. I had been given a bedroom, and this corpse, it was made to lie on top of the bed. Throughout the night, I would go on the bed and open the legs and sleep with that cold corpse without it moving or doing anything, and I would go back on the floor and I would sleep. This priest had told me that I was supposed to sleep and cuddle with that corpse throughout the night, but I was unable to do that. I was always paralyzed with fear whenever I would sleep with this dead woman, and no light was allowed, no phone calls were allowed, and I had cut myself off from the entire world. They would bring me the food, and if I wanted to relieve myself in the afternoon, they had given me a small bucket to urinate in, and at night, that is when I'll be taken by one of the priest's assistant, and I would go and relieve myself whilst I was covered with a white cloth, and I could not see where I was going, and I was being guided by those people until I would enter into the bathroom. No light was even allowed to be switched off. I was supposed to be in darkness at all the times until the 7th day when I was sleeping with that dead woman. That was when she said, "I have brought your money." And then there was dead silence. I screamed, and then the man rushed and said, "What happened? What happened?" And then I said, "This dead woman spoke He laughed at me and he said, "Well, it is fine, for it is done." I was then taken to another room where I was strengthened because of the things that had happened to me sleeping with that dead woman. He said, usually one who is not treated and strengthened can end up losing their mind. In that room, I was then given a mirror in which I was told to call those two twin sisters of mine, and then they came. Between the two of them, I was told to choose one whom we had to sacrifice, for there was blood that was needed. I chose one, and then the one that I had saved, I was later told that she was going to be my suffering. She was going to carry my suffering until she dies, and yet she was my favorite amongst my twin sisters. I regret to this very day that if I had at least sacrificed her, she would be resting in peace right now. I returned back, continued my life with my wife, and I told her that I did not want to participate in selling of drugs. Rather, I wanted to turn a new leaf. She did not even understand what was taking place because she knew that this was my hustle. Even when we met, that was the hustle. And the money that I had was what had attracted her to me. And then she said, you know that we have bills, right? And if it ever happens that you can't provide, then I'm sorry, we cannot stay together anymore. She is very straightforward. And then I said, no, I will always find a way to provide for you, for I knew that money was coming. She thought that I was joking when I told her that I wanted to leave this thing of selling drugs behind. And in time, she saw that it was the truth. I started a business and another business and another business, and life has continued to this very day. I have so many workers, but these people that work for me, they do not know of the rituals that I had to go through in order for me to be where I am right now. When you post, tell me and I would follow in the comments. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother right there. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. If it has never happened to you, you'll think that it is a lie. Yesterday, I was supposed to post more episodes at night. Just when I set to record for the other channel, the Shona channel, I only managed to post one episode. I could not continue recording to post the second episode and also this channel because of what happened. So whilst I was busy working, that was when we did not see the child. I have a 2-year-old son, and we looked for him in the yard. We did not find him. So like it is in the estate. So he went out of the complex and then he went to this other house. How he got there, we don't even know. And at the back of that big mansion, there is a swimming pool. So this 2-year-old boy of mine, he jumped into the swimming pool. Thanks God, the owner of the place, she had returned back from work earlier, and she heard that there was noise that was coming from the pool, and she thought that it was the pool that was cleaning itself, yet it was my son that was drowning. And when she went outside, that was when she found the boy. She said the boy had stopped breathing when she got to the pool. She applied the first aid, and we were busy trying to go around the complex, trying to find the place where he might have entered into. And then that was when we saw her with the boy. She was walking from the swimming pool. It was quite scary. So that is why I could not post yesterday. But I want to thank God for protecting my son. And indeed, there is a God in heaven.